everything you need, you tell yourself this. The job is secure, the fridge is full, the notifications are dinging, you are fed, clothed, housed, and yet, there's a hollow place right here. A silence your playlists can't fill, a hunger your takeout can't touch. You try to kill it with noise, with busyness, with the next thing, but at 3 a.m., it's still there, gnawing. It asks you a question you don't want to answer. Is this all? Now, go with me to a shore, the Aegean Sea, 348 BC. A man stands alone on the rocks. The wind is salt and ice. He is 17 years a student. He has just watched the man he loved more than his own father be lowered into the earth. Plato is dead, and the academy, the only home he's ever known, has been handed to someone else, someone who thinks Aristotle is a heretic. He has nothing, no school, no mentor, no country. He is a resident alien in Athens, a foreigner, a ghost. He has two choices. He can stay. He can fight for a seat at a table that doesn't want him. He can become a footnote in someone else's story. Or he can walk away from the shore. He can let the only world he's ever known die. The question that haunts your 3 a.m. is the same one that clawed at him. When the foundation breaks, do you rebuild the same house, or do you learn to love the open sky?
There is a Zen proverb. It says, "The cup is useful not because it is full, but because it is empty." You have been taught to fear the empty. You panic when the calendar has a blank space. You rush to fill the silence. You think purpose is a destination you arrive at, a container you finally fill. But the cup is most powerful when it is empty, because only then can it hold anything. You are not here to fill your life. You are here to let your life be filled. You spend your energy trying to build walls. Aristotle spent his energy building a vessel. And the life of this man, this orphan of history, will show you that your emptiness is not a flaw. It is the very shape of your potential.
Number 1. Embrace the orphan. Aristotle didn't fight for his inheritance. He left. At 37, most men are settling. He started over. He traveled. He got married. He became a father. He didn't just leave a place. He left an identity. He was no longer Plato's best student. He was nobody. The psychological principle? Identity foreclosure. When you cling to who you were, you cannot become who you are. The orphan is free. No legacy to protect, no reputation to manage, only a future to build. Apply it today. What title are you holding on to that's actually a cage? The reliable one, the expert, the victim. Drop it. Walk away from the shore. Drop this in the comments. I release the old. Number 2, see what others ignore. For the next 3 years, Aristotle didn't write philosophy. He walked on the beach. He dissected sea creatures. He stared at the tide pools. Plato, his teacher, said the truth was in the stars, in the forms, in the heavens. Aristotle looked down at the slime, at the guts, at the things people stepped on. He said, all men by nature desire to know, not just the divine, the mundane, the guts. The psychological principle? Attention is the rarest form of genius. You scroll past 1,000 miracles a day, a stranger's smile, the weight of rain, the silence in a room. You are looking for truth in the big moments and missing it in the small ones. Apply it today. Stop searching for your purpose in a mountaintop vision. Find it in what you can't stop noticing. What do you look at that everyone else ignores? That's your first clue. Drop this in the comments. I will see.
Number 3. Build your own Lyceum. A foreigner couldn't own land in Athens, so Aristotle didn't buy a school. He rented a gymnasium, the Lyceum. No marble columns, no grand lecture hall. He taught while walking, back and forth. He talked, they listened, they walked with him, the peripatetics, the walkers. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't need the building. He needed the walk. He needed the motion. Psychological principle, locus of control. You believe your power is external, in the corner office, in the blue check mark. Aristotle knew his power was internal, in the rhythm of his own step. Apply it today. What can you build with what you have right now? No money, no permission, no platform. What can you teach while you walk? Start there. Start today. Drop this in the comments. I am the Lyceum. Number 4. The purpose of knowledge. Here's the paradox. Aristotle, the first scientist, the first biologist, the man who categorized everything, didn't believe knowledge was the point. He said the final purpose of all knowledge was one thing, eudaimonia. It's translated as happiness, but that's a lie. It's too small a word. It means human flourishing. It means the state of living in alignment with your deepest nature. It means the soul at full stretch. Psychological principle, the paradox of pursuit. You chase happiness, it flees. You pursue knowledge, and happiness finds you as a byproduct. You aren't here to be happy. You're here to be realized. Apply it today. Stop asking, will this make me happy? Ask, will this make me more fully myself? The two answers are almost never the same. Drop this in the comments. I choose flourishing. Number 5. Teach the monster. Philip of Macedon wanted a tutor for his son, a boy wild as a wolf, vicious, untamed. He was 13. They called him a barbarian. Philip hired Aristotle. For 3 years, Aristotle taught him not just rhetoric, but medicine, philosophy, logic, poetry. He gave the wolf a mind. He gave the boy a vision of the world as a single, unified thing, worth ruling, worth taming. That boy's name was Alexander. Psychological principle, the Pygmalion effect. What you expect from someone is what you will get. Aristotle looked at a monster and saw a king, and the monster became one. Apply it today. Who is the difficult person in your life? What if you stopped seeing their chaos as a problem and started seeing it as potential that hasn't found its form? The people who challenge you are your students, your children, your enemies. Teach them by seeing them differently. Drop this in the comments. I see the king. Number 6. The student must leave.
Alexander conquered the known world, and he sent specimens back to his teacher, plants, animals, reports from India. The pupil fed the master's work. But Alexander also grew. He became a god king. He killed his friends. He lost his mind to power. And Aristotle said nothing. He watched from afar. He didn't try to control him. Psychological principle, differentiation. True teaching is releasing. You plant a seed. You don't dig it up to see if it's growing. You let it become its own tree, even if its branches grow thorns. Apply it today. Who are you trying to control? Your partner, your child, your friend. Your need to guide them is destroying them. Let them go. Let them become their own monster or their own king. Their path is not your path. Drop this in the comments. I release you. Number 7. When the world burns. Alexander died at 32. His empire didn't just crumble, it exploded into a civil war that lasted for decades. And in Athens, the tide turned. The anti-Macedonian sentiment rose. And who was the most famous Macedonian in Athens? The old philosopher. They charged him with impiety, the same charge they killed Socrates with. They wanted the wolf's teacher dead. Aristotle didn't stay to fight. He didn't drink the hemlock for a principle. He said, I will not allow the Athenians to sin twice for philosophy. He left. He fled to Chalcis. He gave his school to Theophrastus. He gave his work to the world. Psychological principle, strategic surrender. You don't have to win every battle. You don't have to die for every cause. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away so the work can live. Apply it today. Is there a fight that is killing you? A battle that isn't yours? Walk away. Save yourself for the work. The work needs you alive, not right. Drop this in the comments. I walk to live.
He died 1 year later, alone, in exile. The man who taught the world how to think, who opened the doors for every scientist, every philosopher, every person who has ever asked why. He died far from the city he loved, far from the Lyceum he built with his bare hands and his walking feet. He wasn't a marble statue. He was a man who loved a boy who became a monster, a man who lost his wife, Pythias, and wrote a beautiful, aching tribute to her, a man who lived with a partner, Hercules, and in his will asked that her bones be buried with his. He loved, he lost, he left. He knew the crack in everything. He studied it. He called it Steresis, privation, the absence that defines the presence. A thing is known by its lack. Light is known by the dark. He knew his own dark. He just didn't flinch from it.
You want the wisdom? You want to flourish? You want to build your Lyceum? There is a cost, and it is not paid in money. It is paid in loneliness. It is paid in the misunderstanding of everyone you love. It is paid in the moment you realize you have outgrown the people you grew up with. It is paid in the accusation of arrogance. Aristotle's work outlasted empires, but in his own life, he was an alien, a resident alien in Athens, a foreigner in his own time. Are you willing to be the alien at the table? Are you willing to be misunderstood so deeply that your own mother thinks you've lost your way? Are you willing to be the one who walks away from the shore while everyone else stays huddled by the fire? This path doesn't end with a standing ovation. It ends with a quiet room and the sound of the sea and the knowledge that you lived at full stretch. Is the work worth the wound?
Remember the cup. You came here full of noise, full of plans, full of anxiety. You came here terrified of the empty. Aristotle's life was one long, deliberate emptying. He emptied himself of Plato's shadow, of the need for a homeland, of the need to control Alexander, of the need for a glorious death. He emptied himself until he was a pure vessel, and into that vessel the universe poured itself. All of it, the tide pools and the stars, the logic and the poetry, the guts and the gods. He became useful not because of what he accumulated, but because of what he had the courage to let go. His emptiness was his genius.
So, here you are, at the end of the video. The hollow is still there. It will always be there. The only question is, what will you let fill it? Will you keep pouring in the sand of distraction, the water of other people's opinions, the stones of more stuff? Or will you hold it up to the sky, empty and waiting, and let the real work finally pour in? What are you holding on to that is keeping you empty? Comment below with what you need to let go of. Use one word,